Ladies, if you're disappointed with your husband in some area, whether it's, maybe he's not interacting with the kids enough, or maybe you're concerned about how much he's drinking, or that he's not helping out at all at the house, or whatever the thing is, there is a right way to handle that and a not so productive way to handle your disappointment. Here's what I've learned. I've sat in a lot of mentoring sessions, counseling sessions. My husband and I often will sit with a couple who's in distress. Often it's the wife who's come to us and said, I don't know what to do with my husband, can we meet with you? And so I'm sitting in the middle of this counseling session, and let me just show you what the wife's face sometimes looks like in the middle of this conversation where she's disappointed with some choices of her husband. She'll turn around, he's maybe sitting to her left, and she'll turn around and go, or something like that. And if it isn't the facial expression, it's the words she's speaking. Things like, you just don't get it. He doesn't know how to do relationships. If you were to receive that kind of look of disgust, or those kinds of condemning, harsh words, would you really be drawn to this person who's speaking to you like that, or looking at you like that? Like they're so superior and you are just dumb and stupid and awful and disgusting. Would you really respond well to that? Probably not. So what if we were to try to purposely, intentionally approach our husbands in a kind, compassionate, and less self-righteous and arrogant way? Perhaps they'd even be motivated to want to work on the things that we're gently pointing out, as opposed to that harsh, disgusted kind of look that we give our husbands. This reminds me of Philippians 2, where it says, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourselves. Each of you should look not only to your own interests, but also to the interest of others. Your husband is going to respond so much better if you approach humbly, compassionately, gently, dare I say, lovingly, as you're asking him to maybe look at making some changes. And this doesn't mean that you just roll over and say, well, whatever you want to do. No, you need to perhaps confront and maybe even establish boundaries. But boy, it's much more likely that he's going to be motivated to want to make those changes when he feels like you are for him and not sitting up in your ivory tower looking down at him as if he's pond scum or something. You know what I mean?